Hey everybody, what is going on? Hexlex here. Got another Master Duel video for you. This one's going to be another deck build. We're going into a new format here soon, and I decided to put together post-banless Snake Eye, except, wait, where did all my decks go? No, this is actually something that I do quite often. When it comes time for both a new set and new ban list to roll around, I really like to go through and delete actually all of my old previous decks and build them anew from scratch. I talked about this process before on the channel, but I much prefer this as opposed to just like subbing stuff in and out, because it's really easy to get lost in the sauce if you do that, and your deck is going to lose a lot of cohesion very quickly. I'm speaking from experience, so we're going to just create a new deck here. Before we dive on into this, though, I want to real quick at the start give an extra special thanks to the YouTube members who support definitely goes a long way towards making the channel and the amount of content that I produce possible. If you're interested in supporting the channel and or seeing YouTube content early the moment it goes live as opposed to whatever day I choose to schedule it for, as well as some exclusive content that I don't end up posting for one reason or another, feel free to click the join button right next to the subscribe button below. So anyway, now that we have gotten that out of the way, as always, I'm going to start my deck by putting together engines, and I'm going to be putting together pretty much the bare minimum at the start, but we're going to play around with ratios. Now, the last deck build video that we did was the everything pile, which was a lot more experimental. This is going to have less experimentation because this is more of a solved deck, much more of a solved deck, but still going to be a lot of ratios. I do want to note that I'm not going to play both Divine Temple and Dramatic Snake Eye Chase. I just don't know which one of these I'm going to play just yet. So for Snake Eye cards, I might play Birch as well, but that's probably going to get cut. I know I just said I'd like to start with the bare minimum, but I guess in that regard, we will just cut Birch, and I'll add it if I decide we need another extender. But I'll include both of these again for now, because I'm not sure exactly which one I want off the top of my head. We're going to want some Sinful Spoils cards as well, and related cards, namely the Diabell Star and Wanted. Not going to be playing Azamina. We are going to go for Millennium and Fiendsmith, of course. I have the Millennium and Fiendsmith cards bookmarked here, so we'll just grab them from here. Sengenjin, we want at least one Golem, but spoiler alert, I think I'm going to play more. Actually, I know I'm going to play more. I might also play more Wedju Temple as well. We'll see. And then Fiendsmith stuff. Let's see. The tract is going to be down here. There it is. And then some extra deck cards for those engines. We're going to need you. And where's Moon? Moon. Sequence. And no Beatrice, even though it is still legal. This is going to be a post-banless build. So yeah, I haven't really talked about that too much yet, have I? Yeah, even though Beatrice is banned, I still want to try out Millennium and Fiendsmith, because a lot of people can attest, especially if you've played this deck, to the fact that you don't really need Beatrice for these engines to be worthwhile. They provide so many extra bodies and insulate your plays by making it difficult for one hand trap to stop you completely. So, moving forward, we're probably going to be just going into, like, I'm wondering, so if we get a Fiendsmith engine, right? If we open like Fiendsmith plus Snake Eye Ash, I guess we could go into either Caesar or 3-material Appaloosa would be the best things to go into. So we'll just throw Caesar in instead of Beatrice for the time being. I guess we could go for Evolzar Lars as well, which is more of an Omni negate as opposed to Summon negates, but I like that Caesar has 2 Summon negates. So to be fair, though, Lars can be made with the level 6 Golem, and if we're going to be playing multiple of that, that might actually end up being better. Speaking of stuff that will make off the Millennium engine, we're going to want a rank 8 as well. Now, I talked about this a little bit in my last Snake Eye video, the one where I talked about how much I like playing this deck. But, yeah, I have previously been playing the Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord, but lately I've been trying Zombie Vampire after seeing it in some 3v3 tournament lists from Master Duel on Road to the King. Yeah, this was, I think, a really cool piece of innovation. I want to keep trying it out, so we'll play Zombie Vamp. So these are kind of like my payoffs for the Millennium engine, and then these would be for the Fiendsmith engine. Okay. And yep, we have the 2 Engraver, Lurie's in here, Tract is in here, Millennium stuff is all here. Okay, so This is the Millennium Fiendsmith Snake Eye. So this is all, oops, capital M there. This is all of the engine stuff, right? Or at least the bare minimum of it. And actually, we do still kind of need to decide between Temple and, not Wedgie Temple, Temple and Dramatic Snake Eye Chase. You know, I think I like the Dramatic Snake Eye Chase more. One thing that I really, really like about this card that I like over Temple is the fact that the end phase effect, right? So there are some times, especially when you get hand trapped, where you don't always end on like Flamberge on your end board for one reason or another. Again, usually due to getting hand trapped. But you can still use Flamberge's effect to put IP in the spell trap. Basically, there are some situations where you need to use Flamberge as a material on your turn in order to finish out your end board, and you can't always necessarily have it going into your opponent's turn, which is a pretty big detriment. Unless you're playing Dramatic Snake Eye Chase, then you can pull IP out of the spell trap zone during the end phase anyway. And even if you are playing the Flamberge on board for that turn in particular, then it's still nice because you don't go into your opponent's turn having to activate Flamberge's effects and potentially getting hit with a top-decked Imperm or like a Thrust or something like that, right? So yeah, I think I'm going to play Dramatic Snake Eye Chase over the Temple of the Snake Eye. I've been liking it so far. Yeah, so this is all the engine I think that we need. We'll do the rest of the extra deck here. We're definitely going to play Link Rebo. We always play Hita because we always need something to go into off Prom Princess. We always play Appaloosa. Certainly there are other things we would definitely play as well, but I'm going to hold off on those for just a moment, as now I want to start looking at hand traps. So we actually saw in our video covering the Duelist Cup top decks that in the top 10 in particular, there was a good amount of people playing the Gamma and Driver. Even though Gamma is limited, it seems this card is still powerful enough to see play in high level, you know, ranks. So we're gonna try it here. I definitely want to try that. Playset of Droll. We definitely, of course, want Call By and Cross Out. Nib, I noticed a lot of people were on Nib as well as Triple Tack, so I want to go out of my way to include those two. Why do I feel like I'm forgetting? You know what? I know exactly what I'm forgetting. I always forget it because it's not a Snake Eye or a Sinful Spoils card. It's Bonfire. There's our engine. Okay, that's always the last one. Of course, we want the Maxies and the Ash Blossoms. And okay, so now we can think about, you know, I'll throw in 2 Fuelos here as well. If nothing else, then for Cross Out. So now we can start thinking about playing a little more engine. I definitely want to play a second Golem at the very least, because I really like opening this card. Just having Millennium stuff in general is really good. I'm just looking at the list here and thinking, like, this could just be our 40. This is a pretty solid 40 right here. We could play more engine, or we could play more non-engine in the form of something like Triple Tack. So one thing that I like to do when I'm at this stage and I'm trying to figure out how many cards I want to actually have in my deck is I like to look at ratios. And I don't even, honestly, for me personally, a lot of the time, I don't even use like a fancy stat calculator website or anything. I just kind of like do some math in my head, right? So, and I'm not, and this isn't even someone, I'm not speaking as somebody who's even good at math. I'm just like, are these numbers about even? Does this feel good? Okay, fine, I'll run with it. Which I guess just more than anything comes from experience playing the game. So I like to count hand traps and 1-card starters. I like hand traps in particular as opposed to just counting non-engine because I like knowing how many tools I have if I'm going second, right? So for hand traps, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's a pretty solid number. I think you want to have at least 10. And I think we're playing some pretty high impact hand traps as well, which is definitely not bad. 1-card starters, again, I like to have at least 10, but those, ideally, I want to have a little more than hand traps, particularly in a best of one, like ranked ladder meta. You very much want to value starters, right? So for starters, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's definitely more than good. 16, 17, debatably. OSS plus any normal summon, any hand trap is full combos. So we're looking very, very good on starters, to the point where I think we should definitely be including some more, if not hand traps, then off engine. Maybe like another triple tack, I think could be pretty impactful. I saw a couple of those builds were playing a second Nibiru, maybe even a third Fuelos. I mean, Fuelos is going to be, I think, one of the more impactful hand traps that we could add going second in particular. And then going first, it's fine because we still have like Wedju Temple. So maybe if we're playing 3 Fuelos, we do want like 3 Wedju Temple, just so that we have something to do with those Fuelos if we open them, right? I think I like this. I think I like this quite a bit, actually. Okay, so we just got to round out the extra deck. Why do I feel like I'm definitely forgetting stuff because we're only at 12, but I feel like the extra deck is a lot more tight. Why do I feel like I'm forgetting something like major here? Again, I obviously am. Wow, I'm like blanking for a sec. Hang on one moment. Okay, I don't know why I had such a brain fart just now. The obvious things I was blanking on were IP and SP, of course. And I think I am also going to go for Sunlight Wolf, because it's been fine. I mean, it's a pretty good fire monster to go into on turn 1 off of Prom Princess instead of Hita. But one thing I realized I was forgetting about potentially for the main deck is Kashtira stuff. Although I think I'm fine. I think I'm fine without playing Kashtiras, because it's not like 100% necessary. In fact, again, even if you look at some of those builds on, that made top 10 or even 100 in the Duelist Cup, not all of the Millennium Fiendsmith Snake Eye decks were playing Kashtira as well. I think it was about 50-50, so I'm going to try without Kashtira. To be fair, I've played it with Kashtira up till this point, so I definitely don't mind trying it without Kashtira as well. Okay, so let me just look over this list one last time. You know what, I like playing over 40 with the Gamma driver as well. Yeah, I definitely think being over 40 is pretty good here. I almost want to go 43 to maybe ensure we don't draw it. No, I think that's fine. Yeah, I think it's fine. Well, because here's the other thing too, right? This summons from Graveyard, and the driver is another thing we can do with the Wedju Temple. Much like Fuelos, if we open it, it's kind of dead. We can use Wedju Temple, put Fuelos in the spell trap, send it to the graveyard off Doom Dragon, and then Gamma is still potentially alive like later in the duel if we really need it to be. So, yeah, I like this quite a bit. So, let me set some accessories, and then we're going to go take this to Ranked Ladder. So, at the time I'm recording this, it's not quite the new season just yet. So we're still going to be in like mid-diamond, I think. Here, let me just set these. I'll leave the mate the same. I like setting the 3 cards. I know it doesn't really matter, but it feels good. I don't know, something about it. We'll do Engraver and Seg Engine. There we go. Alright. Let's pop over here, and yeah, as you can see, I'm still at Diamond 3. Probably not going to reach Master, so I'm probably going to be starting in Plat for this upcoming season, which is a little annoying, but it's not the end of the world. It's between Duelist Cup, and also I just don't have as much time as I would like to be laddering between work and life and other games and such. Been playing a lot of Alestrals lately, all that fun stuff. Okay, so are we going to end up going first here? We are. I've noticed that a lot of people who let you go first wait a little bit. I almost wonder if they're trying to fake out being AFK for the coin flip or something. I wonder if that's me overthinking it, though. This hand is fine. It's not the best. We're getting Shotgun to Max Seed. Okay, so one of many reasons why I don't think Shotgun Max Seed is great is because, like, yeah, now if I want to summon Diabell Star, they're going to get the draw. And I think I will still end up summoning Diabell Star here. But the thing that I don't think was great about that is that If I had went Special Summon Diabell Star and activate OSS, then I would have committed my Snake Eye Ash, right? Actually, we're not going to summon Diabell Star at all, because now I can just Fuelos. Yeah, that's the other reason why you don't shotgun Max C. This is the main reason why you don't do it, is you just give your opponent so much information up front about how to play or not play their turn. Like, the other option would have been to get me in a situation where I've used up my Snake Eye Ash, I don't have that or OSS for a follow-up turn. Yeah, look at that, it's almost like you needed the draws or something. And then now I'm able to use Fuelos. Fuelos is actually a pretty compelling reason why I don't think it's good to shotgun Maxi, which yeah, this is an opinion I've obviously expressed a lot before. Am I gonna start with Diabell Star? No, I'm gonna start with Golem, I think. Let's see what happens here. I mean, either way, I have to commit to turning off the Fuelos, but that's fine. That's not a big deal. Now, the cool thing about the Millennium Engine, too, is that it's really easy to get 8k damage under 5 summons with it. Not that I think my opponent has a Nibiru necessarily, but it's something I've actually done when playing this deck even pretty recently. This is kind of one of those situations where I do wish... Oh, it's just Fuelos? Okay, that's fine. This is one of those situations where I do kind of wish that I had the number 90, but now I'm feeling a lot better now that I know it's just Fuelos. So we're going to place our Fuelos into the Spell Trap, and then Sengenjin from the deck. Sengenjin F for the summon. This is 4750 damage. Add the designated card. We'll just add another Sengenjin. That's 4750, so this will be... What am I going to send here? Let's just send the other Diabell Star. Yeah. Probably should have sent the Wedju Temple. Yeah. Yeah, we'll activate this. So 7250... So I need 750. Oak has 900 attack. That's enough. That's also 4 summons, so we don't play into Nib. Yep. So that's a lot of the way that you can win going second in situations like that. Also, like, I'm actually very, very glad that that was our first duel and that it was like there was a clean no cut so that you just saw that was the first game. So that now you know when I say that shotgunning Maxi is the #1 misplay I see on ladder and that there are many situations for information reasons why you shouldn't do it. Textbook example of that game. Or textbook example of that in that game right there. Absolutely textbook. Let's do another one. Maybe even a third after that. We'll just see what time looks like here. Kotaro. Going first for this one. Yeah, Fuelos. I can't believe I haven't mentioned that as a point to not shotgun Max C, but yeah, if you shotgun Max C and your opponent has Fuelos in hand, well, now they just don't play cards and you get Fuelos, as opposed to that not happening. Ooh, this is a pretty good hand. It's fine. I mean, call by Droll with the Diabell Star. That's not bad. I would have rather had like a Millennium card or Engraver instead of a second call by, but I won't complain. Obviously, we're getting rid of the Fuelos here. Diabell Star F. I guess this hand does lose to Imperm, which is kind of why I didn't like it, but I say didn't as if they don't have it. They could still very easily have it here and just be saving it for the Snake Eye Ash. Ash Blossom? No, it's Max C. Okay. That is absolutely going to get called by. Okay, sounds about right. This is one of those games where I would have loved to have seen the other 4 cards in their hand, so I could tell them how to play through my board. I do wish that replays would let you see that, but alas. I understand why they don't, but I do wish that they did. I wish there was, if nothing else, a mode. I wonder how many people would actually click it, though. I was going to say a mode to toggle, like, my opponent can see my hand during replays, but nobody would click that. Because people don't want to give away that they misplayed. I don't know. Maybe something like that. Flamberge in hand is really annoying. Are we going to draw phase Wanted? There's kind of no reason not to, because we definitely want to Wanted here. Okay, yep. Might as well see... I was going to say might as well, you know, search and then not get slapped with the droll. I'm really wishing people would, not concede so quickly. Again, I'd love to see their hands and see exactly how perceptively hopeless it was for them. I say perceptively because I really... Again, it's like I said in the I Love Snake Eye video. I think that there are a lot more board states you can play through than a lot of people would realize. This hand is gross. This is a bad hand. We have Oak in hand. We have to start with Poplar, and we have Oak and Lurie in hand. I don't like this at all, but we're gonna have to make do with it. It'd be really funny if my opponent just like snap conceded here, because this hand sucks. Droll? Okay. That's fine. Yeah, we still go... That's actually fine, because I don't even have anything to search off the Ash anyway. And now they won't know that I have Oak in hand. Although, I guess you could argue that you wouldn't search for Oak anyway. Well, you would just summon Oak off of this OSS here, right? You would just skip the Ash? Normally? I don't know. Can make an argument for that. Okay, so... Oh, I don't even get to do anything here. That's bad. Because, like, even if I go into Flambridge, I don't have a normal summon. Should I have even activated OSS there? I didn't get a search anyway. I think this is SP pass. There's not really much else I'm going to be able to do here. We have a decent follow-up turn. I could... No, that doesn't do anything. I was going to say, if I go into Moon of Closed Heaven... Yeah, that doesn't do anything. Alright, this is SP pass. We have SP Ash Blossom Droll going into 5 cards. That's... fine, I guess. I'll banish this Droll. Why not? Yeah, I didn't love that. That hand was awful. That actually might be... Hands like that might actually be another reason to play. Maybe even up to 44 cards. I was kind of thinking about 44 cards in the deck building phase. That was the kind of hand that Wedju Temple would have been so good. Okay, Small World. This is fine. We'll just draw on the resolution. And then we can Ash Blossom like a summon from deck. Yep, it's Math Mech. Knew that was going to come. Droll is not very effective against Math Mech, but this is one of the very few situations in which it actually is. But even then, this would have been a lot better going first. Going second, this is going to stop pretty much just the Alan Bershin search. But they already had Diameter in hand, so like Alan Bershin wouldn't have even really grabbed anything significant anyway. They're thinking about whether to respond to Droll and Lockbird. If they want to call by, I was just about to say that's completely fine. As I was just explaining, the quality of the Droll and Lockbird as a hand trap right here is not the greatest. So I guess we're just going to Ash Blossom the Alan Bershin if that's indeed what's coming down here. Or maybe... Yeah, okay, so they're going to activate Sigma. I'm going to chain SP, banish the Circular, and then they won't get that search. Then they'll have to have another extender in hand to be able to go into Alan Bershin, and then I can Ash Blossom that. If it's Parallel Exceed, they can... if it's Parallel Exceed and they play Multiplication, they can still OTK me through that. But we'll see what happens. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I think this is the right call. Actually, wait, we can Ash Blossom the Parallel Exceed effect, so that wouldn't be a clean... No, I think that would still be... I think they do have Parallel Exceed. And I think they do still OTK even with... No! Okay, they don't have Parallel Exceed. Cool. Sick. We love to see it. Or rather, not see it. Okay. That was a pretty bad draw. And they conceded without knowing that Oak was in my hand. But imagine if Oak wasn't my hand. Imagine if that was just like another hand trap, like another Droll and Lockbird or something. That would have been not great. And I think that would have definitely been an early concede as a result. But how about that? We built the deck, we played some games, we ranked up. I think that's a pretty good place to leave off for this. So yeah, I really hope that y'all are enjoying this style of video, of the build and then play, as opposed to just me always showing you replays. I got a lot of positivity regarding it on the last time we did that. So yeah, hoping for some more here. Thank you all so very much for coming along and joining me for these games in this deck build process. I think that's going to do it for now. So why don't we move on to our outro. Hey everybody, Hexlex here. Thank you so very much for watching all the way to the very end of the video, which by the way is one of the best ways to support the channel. Speaking of supporting the channel, take a look at the names on screen. These are folks who have been so generous as to either join as a YouTube member or subscribe over on patreon.com/Hexlex to support. There's also perks for doing so. If you would like to see YouTube videos early, as well as some exclusive videos that get uploaded to YouTube, but for one reason or another I decide not to publish, definitely go ahead and hit that join button to see content early, as well as some exclusive content. If you're looking for more exclusive content, over on patreon.com, I upload exclusive videos that are not posted on YouTube just about every single day. Whether you choose to subscribe over on Patreon, join as a YouTube member, or simply continue to watch, your support is greatly appreciated. Thank you so very much. But for now, this is Hexlex. I am signing out, and I hope that you have a fantastic day.